everyone, Angie here, and welcome to Love Inspire YouTube channel. This is my series, Relationship Fears, and we are here at episode 2. Stick around if you want to know more about the fear of being misunderstood.
If you found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes.
Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Relationship Fears, fear of being misunderstood. Now, I want to discuss the definition of misunderstood that I'm referring to in this episode. I'm not referring to misunderstood as in you communicated something wrong and it was heard wrong or received wrong or vice versa. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being misunderstood as a person, as an individual, as a whole. You being misunderstood. And we've all been in this position, or maybe we know someone who has been in the position of feeling like they were misunderstood. And so why is being understood important in a relationship? And it all comes down to one word, and that word is acceptance. 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 And I talk about this a lot in my book because accepting your partner is very significant in maintaining longevity and having any kind of worth in your relationship. We all want to be accepted. I don't care how big and bad you are. We all want to feel accepted in our relationship with our partner or whoever we are with, because acceptance creates some kind of safety. It creates a feeling of being comfortable with this person. And acceptance is really, if you're an avid follower of mine, you know I'm very huge on the foundation. And acceptance is important in your foundation because without it, you are prone to confrontations, you are prone to insecurities, you are prone to all these things that you don't want in your relationship. And we're looking at areas that people are most misunderstood in, and it really goes back to people's past. What happened in their past? I want to feel so connected to my husband that he knows everything that has happened in my past so he can understand why I am this way. I think about him being raised by his mother and father with all his siblings in the house, and me living in the house with my grandparents with sisters on my dad's side and sisters on my mom's side. And that really takes a toll on a young lady growing up and in her adulthood, because now when I have kids, it's like, you know, I want our kids to be super duper close because I'm not super duper close with any of my siblings because of the division. And I want us to have family nights. I want us to go on family outings. I'm very strict on those family values, creating that bond that I lacked growing up. And he understands, but he doesn't understand why I'm so strict because he hasn't gone through it. And so he had to learn that that's important to me because it was lacking in my life. And when you truly, truly, truly love somebody, you study that person. It's funny because the other day I was texting my husband and he calls me on the phone and the first thing he says is, "Hey, I could tell you're wide open. So that's why he called me." And I'm like, you know, well, how can you tell by the way that I'm texting that I'm ready to chit chat and talk? And I realized that he has studied my mannerisms. He knows when I'm up. He knows when I'm down. Even through a little text, even by the way that I'm communicating through a text, he has studied me so and learned me so that he knows when I'm high and when I'm low. And that requires depth. That requires really wanting to get to know your partner, really wanting to understand your partner. Also, I think about past of how many sexual partners somebody may have had, somebody being promiscuous. You never know why they were the way that they were if you don't sit down and have that deep conversation of, I saw molestation when I was growing up, or I was molested when I was growing up. I was raped as a teenager, and I didn't have any worth, so I was promiscuous growing up. Maybe I was cheated on by somebody that I really cared about, and it really just threw off my self-worth and my value, and so I just became this promiscuous person. This requires a conversation that a lot of us are fearful to have. A lot of us are scared to have this conversation. How do we combat fear of being misunderstood? Now, I'm talking to those people that are fearful of internal relationship because they're scared of how somebody will receive their past, or somebody progressing in their relationship, because there's a million people in relationships now, but they are scared to talk about past and what may have happened to them out of fear of not being accepted. And so how can we combat that? And we first have to understand that men and women hear different. And so to feel understood, you have to communicate on that person's level. My husband and I, we have he has code words for me. Like if I'm being over the top, he'll use a code word and I'll know to simmer down. And how we communicate, because he communicates so differently from me, and I communicate so differently from him, to keep from having a confrontation or an argument about something. When we really, really want to discuss vulnerability and feelings, the phrase is, I need a session. And that means phones get dropped, go on silent, off, I don't care, he don't care. TVs get shut off, and this person has your undivided attention of, hey, something is going on, she needs to get this off her chest, she needs some encouragement, I need a session. And that's how we really control the way he communicates versus the way I communicate. It's a phrase of drop everything, stop, drop, roll. This is serious right now, because I know personally I have a habit of, when I'm talking to somebody, even when I'm on the phone with somebody, of playing a game. And it's my way of focusing. And to somebody else, it may look like I'm not even paying you no attention, and I'm paying you the most attention when I'm playing a game. But to him, he doesn't like that when I'm doing that. So the phrase is, I need a session, let's drop it, stop, drop, and roll. You have my undivided attention. Sometimes I'll call a session when we're laying in the bed, and I'll cuddle up under him, and we'll have that conversation right then and there. The second thing is, don't expect your partner to react the way you would react. It is important that you let this person get their initial shock out. If you're telling somebody something big that has happened in your life, they're allowed a response of first feeling uncomfortable. It's like running your hand under really hot water. Your initial reaction is to jump back. But when you get ready to wash your hands, you adjust that temperature and wash your hands thoroughly. And it's the same way with communicating things like this, is you have to give this person time to adjust and to process what it is that you were saying. Allow them that initial jerk back, but then also allow them time to come back and adjust that temperature and get it right and process and talk to you and help you through this matter. Number 3, and this is the most important, accept who you are as a person. Be sure of yourself, love yourself, be assertive, forgive yourself, and most importantly, communicate all of your feelings, good or bad, with your partner. You have to be so sure of yourself that it won't even matter if this person understands you or not. Because guess what? The right person will understand you. The right person will accept you and your past. The right person will accept you and your future. The right person will want to understand the why. The right person will want to understand the cause to the effect. The right person will want to work with you. That brings me into how can you be understanding to your partner. The first thing is, don't be judgmental. Listen, you sin just as much as me, just as much as the next person. Your judgments are so unnecessary to this person that is confiding in you and trying to be understood by you. We all sin, we all fall short every single day. Now, My sin may not look like your sin, but the Bible says no sin is greater than the other. So at the end of the day, it's all sin. It's all up in there, baby. It's no need to try to cut it and slice it and make it look good. I think about when you judge somebody, how much damage you are doing to this person's self-esteem, this person's feelings, this person's future, of saying, you know, this person that I love so much has been judgmental towards me. I'll never open up to somebody else. You are damaging this person. So don't do it, because you wouldn't want it done to you. Number two, don't throw information back up into this person's face. This will definitely ruin your relationship by making this person emotionally detached from you. It's a no, heck no. I don't care what kind of argument you are going through. Do not bring up the past. Do not use something that was told to you in confidence as a weapon to whoop this person. It's not worth it. Number three, just listen. When we have sessions, my husband or me, we just listen. Because sometimes people just want to get it off their chest. They may not need advice, they may not need encouragement, they just want to get it off their chest. Listen, because if you don't listen, you'll miss a vital information that if you are interrupting. Now, of course, you want to say, yeah, to let the person know that you hear them, that you're listening, that you feel them. You know, you want to do that, but listen. Don't judge. Don't do any of that. Just listen to them. And then when it's time, number four, come up with solutions. Part of staying married for a really long time is coming up with solutions to the problems. Think about people that have been married 50 years. Do you really think they never came across one problem? But how did they get through it? How did they get to 50 years? By coming up with solutions to the problem. If you have a financial issue with your budget, what do? You don't just let your finances dwindle. You come up with a solution. If you have a problem with behavior with one of your children, you don't just let the child run buck wild. You come up with a solution as a family together to get this child back on track. Solutions is very, very, very significant in maintaining longevity. So as I conclude today's episode, I want people to realize that understanding is deeper than what you think it is. It's deeper than knowledge. It's deeper than sex. It's deeper than the outward appearance. There are many people who know you, but there are few that really truly understand you. So remember this when you're in relationships. Remember this when you are trying to get with somebody, when you're building a foundation with this person. And also remember that the right person will understand you. The right person will honor you, praise you, respect you, and all of that. So don't get discouraged if you're coming across somebody that is not accepting of your past, accepting of what makes you up as a whole, what makes you up as an individual. You are important, you are loved, and you are meant to do something. So keep that in mind. God bless, and stick around for episode 3 next Wednesday, Fear of Being Deficient.
The ones we keep close, we should never let go. So